we're in studio with the Rehoboth Foodie from RehobothFoodie.com, and we're talking today about
the Breakfast Roundup.
That's right. The breakfast.
I can't get enough of that. Can you just put that on a loop and just run it for a while?
I could.
Oh, I know.
Yes, we could all day if you'd like.
I know.
So you've been giving us a couple little hidden gems around.
Hidden breakfast gems.
And we were saying that we don't know these because we work during breakfast. Unless weekends, I mean.
You guys are down here before they open.
Right.
And I don't think about that. I don't think in that context. I mean, I played in a rock and roll band too long. As far as I'm concerned, 6 o'clock comes around once.
But you mentioned, right. You mentioned one of the first places you said was Jimmy's Kitchen. And on occasion, because I always see they're working when if I drive by at 5, they're there. Mm-hmm. And I will stop in. He'll open the door, special one.
Nice guy.
And that's very nice of him.
Nice guy. One time I was in there, and, they don't really know when they're going to close. And I said, when are they going to close? And he said, we're going to run out of eggs. Yeah. And I heard him say one day, we'll run out of eggs, lock the door. And you got to love the place. You've got to love the place. And he has a great chicken salad club sandwich. I have to throw that out. Chicken salad club sandwich, add bacon and cheese. Thank you very much.
Look at you. All right, we're getting back to the breakfast roundup in a second. Michele Strom joining us right now from WeTV's new show, Obsessed with the Dress. Good morning, Michele.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
I can't complain.
Well, you can, but no one's going to really listen.
No one's going to listen to me.
No. Obsessed with the Dress. I mean, where are you going, Coach? You're the only one who knows about the show. Yeah. Come on in here. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're kidding. So, hey, first of all, let's just say Michele was a former beauty queen, right? You were you were Miss Nebraska or Mrs. Nebraska.
I am.
You are.
You're always being Miss
Nebraska.
Nebraska
At this point, but yes, I at one point was a title holder.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
What's that like? That's got to be a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you work really hard to, obviously achieve that goal, and when it happens, then you're kind of, instantly put into the spotlight, and it's an interesting year, that's for sure.
But do you just because this is what I would do, just walk all over Nebraska and just go, I'm hotter than you, I'm hotter than you, I'm better than you?
What was your talent?
The misses do not have an official talent competition.
I keep telling my wife misses don't have any talent.
Yeah.
I know.
Forget it.
Yeah, we have more talents than we can probably display on stage, but no talent competition.
Okay. So then I was right. You're hotter than her. You're hotter than her. You're hot. Okay. So let's get to let's get to the show.
Absolutely.
Obsessed with the Dress. Tell us about this show.
Well, this is a first kind of show. We've seen the pageant type of shows like Toddlers and Tiaras. We've seen dress shows, but we've never actually seen them put together. So now we get to see workplace drama along with dressing pageant contenders. And, my claim to fame is that I dress winners, and I dress girls to win. I give them a little tough love in trying to whip them into shape, into seeing my vision for what they should look like on stage. And so, there's some tears and there's some laughter. There's a lot of fun, but really it's celebrating kind of that Olympic moment for these women that are putting themselves out there and winning a pageant. So it's an interesting background look into what goes into competing into a pageant, and that's the dresses. We custom design dresses, we draw dresses, we pick dresses off the rack, for all different shapes, sizes, and budgets, and it's a lot of fun to kind of look at the drama.
I was just going to ask you, budget. What is a dress like that when you're talking a pageant dress? What does that cost?
It depends really on what system you're competing in. So if you're going to Miss America, it's sky's the limit. Those are usually $3,000 to $8,000 gowns. But if you're competing in a small local pageant, you might be, looking at $500 for a dress. It just depends on, how big you want to go. But I always say go big or go home and give it your best shot.
What's the preferred material?
Right now we're seeing a lot of chiffon dresses. People are wanting kind of that flowy, beautiful kind of feel on stage. But then you get into Miss America, and girls are wearing, head-to-toe beaded gowns. And so you're really seeing a little bit of everything. And then you go into Miss USA, and those are the real sexy girls, and they're wearing jersey dresses that are hugging every part of their body. So we're really seeing, it just depends on what system you're in, but chiffon dresses I think right now are kind of the big trend.
That's what you were wearing.
Yeah.
Chiffon.
70 pounds ago.
Big fan of chiffon.
Yes.
So all right. So now this is on WeTV, right? And
WeTV. We've got our second episode this Friday night, 10/9 Central. We're super excited because, yes, I actually get my heels back on, and I place a bet with one of my good friends, and we're going to actually compete in a pageant against each other to see who can actually win, and it's very comical this weekend. It's, I think, one of the funniest episodes, so everybody needs to tune in and watch these two has-beens actually get back up on the stage.
Wait, you said this is the second episode, right?
This is.
So this is the funniest of the two. What, you said this is one of the funniest out of the two?
I think it's pretty darn funny. And maybe it's just because I'm looking at myself up on stage and I have no business being up there, but it's
what do you mean you have no business being up there? This is Nebraska. You have every right to be up there.
That was a handful of years ago. I'm not definitely in swimsuit shape, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're fine.
Better than I am.
Yeah. I mean, no offense.
Well,
yes,
I'd hope I'd be better than you guys.
You're a lot better than Big Al, if I can mention.
Actually, I went to your Facebook fan page, and I noticed something. You're doing a whole radio thing today, right?
Yes.
Well, and thank you for putting us out there, putting the schedule out there. But I just realized you're going to be on WCHE in Philadelphia. Bill Mason is a good friend of ours. Bulldog Allen coach.
I'll have to do a nice shout-out for you.
Please make sure you tell him the guys from Ocean 98 said hello. He's a long-time friend of ours, Bill.
Oh, so I didn't know she was on Bill's show.
Yeah, WCHE in Philly.
Yeah.
Bill used to work here with us.
That's awesome.
Well, I'll make sure I do that.
Please do. Please do. Yes, tell him we said, and we miss him, and we want him back anytime he wants to come back to visit.
I will make sure I do that today.
But back to the second funniest episode.
Obsessed with the Dress. Friday night, 10 o'clock, WeTV. Be tuned in for that one. All right.
Well, I hope everybody does tune in. It's gonna. I promise you'll be entertained.
All right. And promise you'll say hello to Bill for us.
I will.
And promise you'll follow us back on Twitter and all that good. Do you spend a lot of time on Facebook and Twitter and all that?
I definitely have been. Right now, people are starting to find our pages, and it's social media can consume your life. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Yep.
We're addicted here.
Yeah, he's addicted. All right. Well, Michelle, thanks for your time. Good luck with the show. WeTV, 10 o'clock Friday night. Obsessed with the Dress. And again, please say hello to Bill for us, okay?
I will. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Take care.
Love you, too.
Love you.
Bye. Bye. Yeah, later. We have no idea who Bill is.
Wait, until she does that. Bill Mason from the Morning
you mean you
Magazine.
don't?
We have no idea.
The Morning Magazine? I've never heard this guy in my life.
Buying all this stuff.
It's an AM station in Philadelphia.
No, it's going to be great. Hey, by the way, the guys at Ocean 98 said hello. Huh?
It's 1520. If it was any higher on the dial, it'd sound like you're on the phone. Yeah. 1600 is like, well, don't listen.
Is that now? You know a lot about the sound stuff. As you go up higher in AM,
on the AM dial, the higher you go in frequency, the narrower the frequency response. So it sounds kind of like you're on the telephone, kind of thin and squeaky.
So at what point of AM would be still sounding okay? Like AM 1000, is that?
In the 600s would be good.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
because 1,000 is about halfway up.
That makes
but
sense.
630, 650, no.
Like 670 in Chicago. Yeah.
One of the biggest stations in Washington, D.C., and the one that always came out top on the book was an AM station, I want to say MAL. I think it was MAL. But it was 630, 650, 620, something like that.
You are
but it sounded pretty good.
Information.
A veritable fountain.
Now in FM, it's not the same.
It is not the same.
At every station.
It doesn't matter where you're on the dial. It's a different way of broadcasting.
But you should be like around 98.
90.1 is the best one.
Right,
you don't. First of all, 0.2 doesn't exist. And 98 doesn't exist. If you're on there, you're a pirate.
Why is that? In Europe, they do
spacing.
But in Europe, they use 0.2s and different places, right?
Yeah.
They'll use that.
Yeah, that's the reason why they have to be far away so that they don't interfere with your signal. But the FCC did that on purpose years ago when it was the FRC, the Federal Radio Commission. They put spaces between the stations so they wouldn't interfere with one another because back then they didn't have the electronics to keep you right on your frequency. Because the station can drift. You could become 98.1032.
Sure. Right.
And now you're creeping up to someone at 98.3, which could be somewhere else. And all of a sudden you hear this strange Bulldog sounding thing.
It's a Rehoboth foodie and a whole lot more.com is what it should be.
Let me go to Network Solutions immediately and get that. I'll probably have to bid for it.
Now we're going to we'll do a couple more little breakfast roundup.
The Breakfast Roundup.
Sorry, we'll do a couple more of those, and we'll take a little break and come back and do some more. You got a ton of places.
I got a ton of places.
We're going to quiz you on diner knowledge.
I would love that.
That's coming up next.
I would love
so let's hit a couple more of your spots.
A couple of little wonderful places. One in downtown Rehoboth that nobody ever knows about, but she has the best. She has a latte that's really good. Anybody that likes spice, that likes hot pepper spice, they have to go to Cafe A Go-Go. Maria and Jesus own the place, the Ramirez couple. Very, very nice people. And she has a thing called the Mocha Loco Latte. It's right next door to Candy Kitchen on the south side at the beginning of the second block.
Okay. Yes.
Little tiny place. She has it. And they dry their own ancho peppers and they grind them. And these are hot. And she mixes them with Mexican chocolate and coffee.
Okay.
And she puts a little this, a little cinnamon, a little that in it. And I'm telling you something. When you go in there, if you like, tell her to make it like she makes it for Bob the Foodie. She has to make it that way because I'm telling you, it'll take your head off.
What makes
It's really
Mexican
good.
chocolate different than regular chocolate?
It comes from a Maria, and her last name's Ramirez. You put me on the spot, man. What can I do?
Good. No, that's a good answer. That's what I'm giving you.
Okay.
Pedro brought it to me. Okay.
All right. What other? Give me another one of these hot spots.
I would be remiss,
Yes.
and we all know how painful that can be.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Surf Bagel. Because you got to talk about Surf Bagel. And one of the things that stands out for me with their breakfast is it's one of the few places that still serves Taylor pork roll.
Yes.
Remember Taylor pork roll?
No, but you know what? My smart-ass Marty was he was telling me about that. He said, you've got to get Taylor pork roll.
You saw Marty?
Smart-ass Marty, yeah.
I'll go pick some up today.
Oh, it's wonderful, man.
I know,
Can you
dude.
be back?
Surf Bagels in my backyard, man. I go there all the time.
I know,
I
but
can get it.
we can cook in here too.
Okay.
You get the
Who's to say
bacon.
you can't have too much tail ham?
Wait, you get bacon.
There's no such
and-
thing as too
wait,
much Taylor ham.
Bacon and ham, you said?
No.
Oh.
You get it on a toasted sesame bagel with cheese and an egg, and you get extra Taylor pork roll because why not?
Yeah,
it's
sure.
because you can, and it's really, really good. I love
You
it.
know,
You remember when the
they
stands were on the boardwalk?
On the what?
You remember when the Taylor pork roll stands
I
were on
haven't
the
been here
boardwalk?
that
You
long.
weren't
I've
there.
never had Taylor
No.
pork ham.
There
I
were
don't even know
two
what
in
it is.
Ocean City for years, no longer. There was one in Rehoboth for a short time, and they were in Atlantic City for a long time, and Wildwood.
Oh,
So there you go. There's your Jersey.
every time I made one, my buddies and I in college loved it. I'd take it, you slice off a little round, then you take it around the edges, and you snip like the edges,
So it won't curl.
so it won't curl, and
It
it
sounds like you're a
crisps it up.
moil. All of a sudden, Coach is a
No,
moil.
no, but
It's a
it
moil.
just gets so crispy, and it's
What is it called? Taylor?
Taylor pork roll. Actually, Taylor ham, or
yes.
Taylor pork roll.
Taylor-
And it is made in actually Princeton,
Okay.
Princeton, New Jersey.
All right, I'm
or
writing that down.
near Princeton.
I will. I'll be at Surf Bagel this week, and I'll get some of that.
Tell
I'll
me.
try it.
Yeah.
oh man.
All right. Man, we got. I know we got it right. But I know we were talking about another one of the spots.
I could do one more if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
You want? I mean, it's up to you. It's your show. I'm just
No.
here and-
This is your
Hey,
time.
this is yours.
The Breakfast Roundup.
Right.
One of the places that has been in Rehoboth since the 1930s is the Robin Hood. The Robin Hood, first block south side, about halfway down.
Okay.
And originally it was called the Robert Lee because the owner's two sons were named, who would have thought, Robert and
Chip
Lee.
and Skip.
Oh,
Chip and Skip, and he said, I don't like these kids. I'm going to name it Robert Lee. But back in the 50s, early 60s, Harry Suklas and his two brothers came down here from Pennsylvania, and they opened restaurants, and Harry opened Robin Hood. One of his brothers opened a place called the Seawood, which is where the outdoor dining for Grotto Pizza is now.
Okay.
And the other brother opened up the famous Country Squire across the street, which gave birth to the Make Your Own Bloody Mary bar, which eventually gave birth to Peppers. Chip Hearn and the Peppers store that you see is now in Lewis.
You do know now all this information, not within his head, but all on RehobothFoodie.com as well. You put a lot of stuff out there.
Much of that
and you
is.
learn a lot of things. Read the articles, read the comments, read all this stuff. It's great stuff. And I, as I've mentioned before, I will not go against the foodie again. I had a terrible dining experience last week because I went against you.
Yeah.
And I even knew, because we even talked about it, and you said, don't go there.
I said, don't go,
No,
man.
I went.
I mean, who loves you? I said,
The
don't
foodie,
go.
the foodie.
I said earlier we like being honest, and I wasn't truly honest with you earlier because I said I don't read. I do read that.
Okay.
Remember, I said I don't read it all, but I do go to. I do
See,
read.
you guys
Do you read books? Are you a book reader?
I read a lot of books. yeah.
Are you familiar with the author we had on, Nelson DeMille?
I was listening to him. Isn't that interesting?
He's great.
Yeah, he
That-
was wonderful. I love the interview. He was right there with you.
Some of my
Yeah.
absolute favorite books ever.
Wow. It's fiction, right?
The Gold Coast.
Yeah.
And the Charm School. Just great stuff. Anyway, all right, we're going to continue more with the
Breakfast Roundup.
That's right. We'll do that more right after this. And then we're going into our quiz.
Quiz time.
Because it's quiz time. It's time for us to quiz the foodie. Also, you know what? We could quiz a listener to get them qualified to win some prizes, too.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, but it's
who
an
wants to
off-skate.
go against the foodie? Why don't we do that?
We'll
do. Oh, yeah, the food challenge. If you think you know it, you can win yourself a spot in the Ocean $98,000 cash splash. Could be worth $1,000 if you know these little slang terms for the kitchen.